out. Sounds of Pastor Sean Jones. Return no more. Miss Joanna Mutard, hope I did a good job. Once again, we're going to send this out to the memory of Mr. Connie Milton. Milton. You ready?
I've got a problem that I'm pretty sure.
The Tower of Power, Louisiana Superstation, KIEE 88.3. From Lafayette, Louisiana, it's KIEE 88.3, bringing you the best of
The Open Line Radio Show is supported in part by Finders Keepers, the place with your residential hardware needs, small engines, outdoor power equipment, bathroom accessories, electronics, lighting, plumbing, and everything in between. Located in the Southern Development Office Building, at 1006 Surrey Street, Lafayette. Telephone 337-780-8149. That's Finders Keepers.
We want to remind you that the Open Line Radio Show is powered by Finders Keepers, 1006 Surrey Street, Lafayette. The Open Line Radio Show is heard exclusively from 9 to 11 a.m. every Wednesday on your community superstation for South Louisiana, KIEE 88.3.
Hi fans, this is your favorite actor. When I am in the Lafayette area, I listen to the Open Line Radio Show with Sister Kadisha and Brother Jay. Heard exclusively on KIEE 88.3, your superstation for South Louisiana.
You are rolling with the Open Line Radio Show, heard exclusively on KIEE 88.3 FM. your superstation for South Louisiana.
KIEE, the Louisiana Superstation, presents the community's #1 radio talk show, The Open Line. If you have an open mind.
Good morning, Hotep Habarigani, or Assalamu Alaikum. I am your host this morning, Sister Khadijah, along with Brother Jay, who is also the host, a lineman.
I am not the intern today.
Yeah, well, no, you're not the intern today. As a matter of fact, you've been doing a good job. I just can't wait to receive some l'argent so I could go ahead.
Well, that ain't got nothing to do with
you.
the.
And the name of the song, our opening song was 4x4, and that's Pieces of a Dream.
Can I correct you, my sister? Again, I'm jumping in.
Sure,
I'm
bad.
always stepping on y'all, so for the fans out there, I'm always. The name of the song is 454. It take off from the numbers 4, 5, and 4. That was a song
what you
about.
Think I said?
You saying 4x4? You saying 4x4?
You just missed.
Or you was even saying 2x4 just now.
I said 4x4.
Pieces of Dream, a band out of the 80s, discovered by the late great Grover Washington
Jr.
That song was created because they come out of Philly, the Philadelphia sound, that music.
You're right.
Well, that was the time when at that time I was a big old Philadelphia 76ers fan. Dr. J and Moses Malone and all the Darryl Dawkins, all of them, they ran for that championship that year. So that inspired these young brothers who came straight out of college.
Okay.
Straight out of college, and they put this song and this album together. written by the late great Grover Washington. So just know your musical history, where those songs come from. But that was the song being played in New Iberia, Lafayette, all the clubs.
All the clubs. Yeah. That's right. As a matter of fact, that I have that's one of my theme songs. That's going to be one of my theme songs. I'll be one of my opening act songs when I'm on the.
On the negative side, I hope it didn't contribute to why everybody want to go play the lottery, because it's about the lottery. Your lucky number is 454, not 2x4, Sister Khadijah.
Okay, right. Yeah, 4x4. 454 Pieces of a Dream. Now, I don't know if a lot of our listening audience, yes, they should know. Do y'all remember Arsenio Hall? Arsenio Hall is this comedian, actor. He done a lot of things. He was the one that was the gentleman that played Coming to America. I can't think of his name.
The character.
the
with
character.
Eddie Murphy.
With Eddie Murphy. Yeah, okay, well, he was like the he was supposed to be protecting Eddie Murphy. I mean Eddie Murphy. But Arsenio Hall had a fantastic late talk night show. And it brought in all kinds of people. And there was one thing that Arsenio Hall used to do when there was no reason, when he would bring out different situations, and when there was no type of answer to it, or the answer that you would have wanted to say, you had to like regroup, because you can't say it in the public domain like that. But he used to do this stuff like, like put his hand, his finger on his right cheek, and this is something that make you want to go, And the reason why I'm saying that is because you have these young, you have the bus driver. Okay, the bus driver that picks up the kids, they have to pay attention to the roads. They have to be alert at all times. They're not even allowed to be on their cell phone. However, one of the bus driver, she had been having problems with two young kids, and so she stopped and she tells it to the mother, look, your children is just blatantly cutting up on the bus, and I can't be driving a bus and stopping them from doing what they're not supposed to be doing. And did you know what that little kid told her? Now, he is no more than 8 years old. Do you know what he told her? He said, "You are a lie." Now, what is it that's going on in our society where you have a 8-year-old that would tell an adult in the front of their parent that they're lying? Something is wrong. Something is wrong right there. So when I think about what I would have said, what I should have said, or what I couldn't say, I would just go and just put my finger on my cheek and say, some things, But it's talking to a bigger picture. You get calls left and right. A lot of times you gotta stay on the phone with people when they explain their situations. You giving them the advice that you would automatically take, and this go on and on. One of the main problems, it's nothing wrong with showing love to our children, but I be darned, in this world, I could be on my dying bed that my grandchild or my children would disrespect one of their elders. Not in this day and age.
You are so right, and that's what's going on in today's society, especially in the black. I'm gonna say it in the black community where you have.
No, it's not just in no.
Well, I know, but I'm focused. We always had the sense of family, Khadijah, in the black community. I'm saying. My focus has always been what's going on in the black community.
Right, but Jay, I'm in Walmart. I'm hearing little old 3-year-old. Yeah. Oh, F you, mommy. Mommy, I don't want that. Mommy, I don't want that. Right. I mean, so
right.
it's in all. Yeah.
Well, my focus is that family used to be family.
Okay.
And family's not family. You got grandchildren running the household. you have no respect for the older people, and
That's right.
the older people, like the uncles and the grandfathers who nurtured those children when they were young, who took care of them, and it's like they don't acknowledge what they did for them. So some of these grandchildren wouldn't be alive and around it. Even your own children, they turn their back on you. They don't want to talk to you because you're trying to tell them the right thing.
That's
so you
right.
see what's going on in today's society.
That's right.
Shooting, killing. I've read
disrespect, the
number of
blatant.
articles where sons are killing mothers. They had this rapper, Khadijah, when
I
you
remember.
see.
Yeah.
No, but this is another one in upstate New York somewhere. He killed his family for clout.
What
For clout. Because he wasn't getting nowhere in the rap music game. So what he did, he went home and he didn't kill. He shot his mother. He shot his sister. He shot his little baby brother. And he said and then after that he live streamed it and
oh my God.
And he sent it out and he said, and people figured at the conclusion that he wasn't doing good as a rapper. So in order to get clout, he wanted to do some shock value stuff. And the problem with this is when he went down the road and the cops got after him, a high-speed chase, he wound up in a shootout and he lost his life. So this is so sad because that's what's going on in society, the disrespect from these younger people to these older people. I'm just saying it's not all over like that.
No.
But there are some.
No, there are some.
Families are experiencing that. And it starts with that dissing of the older folks, like the older folks don't know any better. When it comes to the outcome. So
that's exactly correct. As a matter of fact, when it stated that it take a village to raise a child and everything, that was a proverb that came out of Africa. And when former First Lady Clinton, Hillary Clinton, she came up with that. Well, it take a village, like if she had automatically invented that, but no. That came from Africa, from one of the proverbs out of Africa, and Hillary Clinton. She took it when she was like the first lady, however you call them. She would say, well, it takes a village and stuff, but it takes more than a village. No matter how you look at it, you could be in a store, and in Walmart or any of those stores. They come in with their children. They running up and down. You have signs that saying, "No children allowed." You have signs that say, "Please watch your child." They jumping up and down, and I know we have to take part of the blame, but because it's us as a society, it's us as a whole. So we've got to take part of the blame. But what part of the blame you think I'm gonna be taking?
Some of us spoil these children.
Yeah, I agree.
Spoil them and they have no idea what it is to become a man or a woman.
Yes, Brother G, you had this. I was at another area. This little boy, he cutting up for. He had the top of the line Jordan, the Jordan tennis shoes. He had the top of the line Jordan tennis shoes. All right, but he wanted a updated cell phone. So the mama said, "I can't buy that for you. I can't buy that for you." And boy, and he was about a good 12 years old. So she said, "Well, okay, I'm gonna just let him cut off the light bill, and I'm gonna go and get you your phone." Okay. He started jumping up and down, up and down. I'm like saying, I was just so stunned. I'm like saying, get out of Dodge with this. This is ludicrous.
Well, Khadijah, what's going on in the news? Before we bring our guests on in a minute, we were waiting for the first call, but we didn't get it. We're going to bring on our guests in a few minutes. What's going on prominent right now, the big talk is a couple of things. The young man who rang the doorbell and was shot. And I'm glad
shot 2 times.
Shot twice. And
one in the head and one in the arm or the shoulder, something like that.
Well, that goes to what people are saying about black males or supposedly impose a danger to everybody that they come across, but there's a lot of racism in that formula. And then I'm seeing all these videos now, law enforcement going crazy. Yes, you saw the one on the community defender that we opened up with. I mean, you got in Oklahoma, where the sheriff and the county officials was the same equal of the what we call down here the parish president. They were discussing killing this reporter who was exposing them. For a number of years. He was writing good stories and provable stories on how they were corrupt and they were doing a lot of racism. Well, you know, the reporter left his recorder in the meeting room and stepped out, which is legal because it's legal because it's an open meeting law. You're supposed to have an open meeting. Something like they pull the shenanigans down here in the South where they don't advise you on their meetings. Well, when he came back and he listened to the recording, he decided to expose it on the national level, which discussed that the sheriff was very upset. And you know what he was upset for?
They caught him?
He can't lynch black people no more. He said black folks got all the rights. So he's upset that he can't lynch black folks.
Oh, my God.
And this is the mindset of some of these people. Mm-hmm. And we got to understand those who want to cure racism and say, let's cure racism like a disease. It's not necessarily a disease. It's more of a thing where you got human nature taking an effect. I'm not saying it's right, but we got to learn how to navigate through racism and don't just try to say we won a case, we won a settlement, and that's the end of it.
Yeah,
no, it's an eternal fight. Racism will always be here. I view racism in the form of evil. It's a choice, a good choice or a bad choice. And they got a lot of those people who making the bad choice and want to practice racism.
And they don't want you to call them out.
No.
They don't want you to call them out at all.
They get mad and angry.
That's why wherever I'm at, if you're going to check my money, you best have checked the person before me money simultaneously. I'm not calling like that. But then, Brother Jay, you're talking about, there's no more, he wish he could have lynched people. Well, there's no more lynching. It's called high-tech lynching. You know, let me just go ahead and get
bring
you
through the court system.
Yeah, let me go and bring you through the court system. I'm going to give you 20 years to life for robbing this store. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got killed. You know, you robbed this store, came out with about $500. I'm going to give you 20 years to life. But yet, doing the SNL scandal, yet white-collar crimes, oh, well, you know, we understand. Everybody makes a mistake. And it's not your money anyway. It's the taxpayers' money. And, you know, you just get a little slap on the hand and you're free to go.
Well, how about you getting a settlement in the case of $780-some million? What about that?
Oh, well, that would do my community.
Well, I know a lot of people out there like what I call fixed news. They start with an F. Fixed News. We know who the Fixed News. They got the channel out here where that settlement against them is the only thing they didn't admit to saying they sorry, but the settlement itself sends a message that those who like to sit in front of the TV, because I know a lot of people from the other culture, the Caucasian culture, who loves that channel, and a lot of our black folk love that channel.
That's Fox News.
That's Fixed News. Fixed News.
No, it's Fox.
Well, I'm gonna refer to them as Fixed News.
Okay, I get you. I don't want
no detrimental case against myself, Brother Jay.
Well, hey, it can't be nothing detrimental, Brother Jay, because this is factual. This is history. This is news.
That's Fixed News.
It's all over. But the point of the matter, they were like. They were like ready for the trial. Because
they were going to put Sean Hannity on there.
Oh,
they were going to put Rupert Murdoch, the owner. They were going to put all of them going to have to come on testimony and say, yeah, we created some lies. We created some lies. Not that I was for either one of the Democrats or the Republican, but I'm saying Fixed News has always been, and you know, when I was on KJCB, I would talk about the stuff on Fox News that was so wrong. And it feels so good to be vindicated after talking about something for almost 20 years that you see this settlement. So stay tuned. They have many lawsuits against Fixed News, especially when it's trying to manipulate the mindset of people in this country. So, and hopefully, there'll be some better things coming. So even here in Lafayette, the mother of the family of the young man that was killed, shot by law enforcement.
He was shot and
killed by law enforcement. They asking
was
for
there on Johnson Street.
The bomb was. That's what the name. That's the place they say in the news that they said it happened.
Yeah, that's
well, the thing is this. I applaud the Civil Rights Group 337 for stepping out in front and working with that to find some transparency. Right now, all they want to do is find out, release the video.
To the parents.
And that's kind of crazy that when they know they're justified in shooting something, they release the video right away.
Yes.
But harken back to the Louisiana State Police and Ronald Green. They didn't want to release no video. When you don't want to release video, you have something to hide. And you always hear that, well, we have an ongoing investigation. Well, there ain't nobody at the scene right now. There ain't nobody over here, over there. The investigation, what investigation? An investigation is when somebody's actually doing something as opposed to talking about something. So release the video. That's the only proper thing to do. And the issue also with the Louisiana State Police itself, can they be trusted? Because of all the negative situation going on with the Louisiana State Police, can they be trusted to give a fair and accurate investigation on this case and other cases around the state of Louisiana?
Well, when you look at the hypocrisy with Ronald Green, the way may he rest in peace, the way he begged for his life, I wouldn't even trust them with giving me jaywalking at all. And it's voices. Our power, believe it or not, is speaking out. You don't let them just give you gravy train and have you thinking that that's a real gravy. You don't have them doing that. Like right up in, this is another news article. It says at the end of March, Senator John Kennedy made a speech on the Senate floor calling to reinstate the stop and frisk technique in New Orleans, claiming it to be the solution to violent crime. Stop and frisk is a legal constitutional law enforcement procedure that is used every day across America in every other state, Kennedy said. Since then, the move has raised some eyebrows, caused controversy. Stopping someone and frisk just because you unilaterally think that they may be a threat is a danger, Representative Troy Carter said. I mean, it has proven over and over again to be more of a problem than a solution. According to Carter, the move is discriminatory. Kennedy argued against that, adding that a majority of New Orleans police officers are African American. And what does that mean?
That mean
what does that mean?
They could use black folks to harass other black folks. They ain't gonna be targeted.
All right.
You will be targeted. I mean, it's never solved anything. Everything that Louisiana comes with it up, even local and national level, never come to fruition. The only thing good, and it's factual. This is very factual. It's the festivals and fairs and all the eating. That's the only thing they come up with, and then eating too much of that stuff that we having every festival we have is the cause of us going into the emergency room with blockage in our heart and kidney disease and everything else. So Louisiana just doesn't get it.
And what's so blatant in your eyes is that you go anywhere to some of these big multi-billion-dollar churches. Mm-hmm. You may see us, one or two of us there, but we're not there. At the Scott Festival, they mentioned that they had the drones was flying above, just catching the whole crowd. And this lady was a vendor, and she said, you would see like a black person, one of us, like maybe ever so often, but the majority of them was a white. And she said, but as soon as it got a little dark, and I don't know, it was Keith Frank and Lil Nate on different days when they got on, you see nothing but the black people, just coming out to have a good time, and you don't see the drones. Why wasn't the drones capturing all these black folks that was all together listening to Keith Frank, listening to Lil Nate or whatever, and without no incident?
Well, here's the other issue that Louisiana House of Representatives is getting ready to get underway with the bills. And I want to bring that up over the weekend, and I didn't have a chance. We had a lightning strike over here, and everything went off. I guess we were bringing up some controversial issues. We should not be on that show. But look, the Louisiana legislative body want to advance about 800 bills. And one of the bills deals with police officer safety, that now if you approach within 500 feet of 50 feet within a police officer, you can be subject to some criminal prosecution. So that's certainly going to be an issue. And the other issue is that some of the legislative body, the Louisiana Republican Party chairman, wants to push to make a law not for no one to study racism in the colleges and university. What is wrong with the state of Louisiana again? Following the lead of Ron DeSantis again.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to get right back on that.
You got a call?
Yeah, call it. You have a question or comment. You're on with the open line.
No, good morning. Good morning to you all.
Yes, morning.
My name is Nursey McNeil, Nursey Ozane McNeil. And I'm a school board member for Iberia Parish School Board District 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just calling. I'd like to give a little info. We have a bond renew election coming up on Saturday, April 29th.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just wanted to give some information to some of my constituents and some of the Iberia Parish residents who may be listening. A little more information on this bond.
Go ahead.
Okay, on April 29th, we're going to have the election for the bond renewal. Bond renewal, back in February, the school board adopted a capital improvement plan, and we passed this resolution calling for an election on February 15th also. So the election date would be April 29th. So this capital improvement bond is for the purpose of financing capital expenditures for school purposes for the district, including construction, acquiring, improving schools, and other school-related facilities. Now, some of my constituents have called me questioning some of these proposals, and some of them are maintaining 21st century classrooms, enhancing student safety and security, relocating Anderson Middle School, expanding the Iberia Parish Career Center, and preserving and enhancing facilities. Now, the main calls that I have been getting is on the relocating of Anderson Middle School.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. Now, in the past, we multiple factors has informed our decision on planning to address this issue faced by Anderson Middle School, which is situated within the west end of Iberia Parish. Okay. In the past, we've had violent crimes, increasing break-ins in the school, shootings. Now, I live 2.5 blocks from Anderson Middle School. And I know for a fact, there have been many shootings in that area. I've stood on the corner of near Anderson School watching the kids who walk to school, and from school. And it is a very dangerous area. So since I've been on the board since 2014, I have always brought the subject of either relocating our staff and students for their safety, or perhaps building a new middle school. But, of course, that has never happened. So now it is on the bond renewal program to relocate Anderson Middle School to the Sugarland Elementary School area. the enrollment of Anderson School has gone down, and that's because, of the crime and violence that happens around their school. Parents whose children are zoned for Anderson after they complete the 6th grade, they do not send them there. They send them somewhere else. So this bond, this capital bond, will help us to relocate the staff and the students to the upgrade Sugarland Elementary School, which will be built in the near future. So that's why I'm calling to let the people in Iberia Parish know that this is a great investment, and hope that they will go out and vote on Saturday, April 29th for this bond renewal.
Yes, ma'am. And you're Miss McNeil?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You
board member for District 1.
District 1. Okay. Yes. I've heard people talking about the same thing that you just got through from mentioning, and wanting to know why is it that they want to move the school when the school wasn't built. It hadn't been built no more than maybe about 5 years at the most.
Anderson Middle School? No, Anderson Middle School is the former Jonas Henderson High School. It's been there since the, if I'm not mistaken, the early 50s.
Okay. Oh, okay, I'm talking about the other part. All right. And so since there's so much crime that's going on, you want the constituents of Iberia Parish to vote this coming Saturday about getting extra tax so that y'all can move it?
No. There will be no tax increase with this bond. There will be no tax increase to the taxpayers.
Okay.
So, but and another thing, no tax increase for the taxpayers. It's and I know that's not part of your problem, but there is nothing actually for these young teenagers to really do in Iberia Parish. There was a park where they had a pool. They got rid of the pool and they put some little water splashes. I mean, I think that even if they were to just maybe put the school where it's technology at its finest, where these young people can go and maybe get a chance to get on different type of computers, do different sets. I mean, just do something educational instead of just letting them just be in the way like they're in the way.
There are programs in the parish, especially in the summertime for the kids, so that they can attend these programs in the summertime, which not only includes them going to the park to swim or anything, but there are little educational programs, especially coming up this summer with the Boys and Girls Club that I'm aware of.
Okay. Well, yes, ma'am. You had something else you wanted to say?
If anyone needs to call me to get more information, my telephone number is 337-380-7902. 337-380-7902. Yes. They can call me if they need to know more information about this bond renew election. I'll be more than happy to assist them.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that information.
Miss McNeil, School District number 1 out in Iberia Parish, and the telephone number is 337-380-7902. 337-380-7902.
Okay, thank you.
That's correct. All right, and thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Well, she was giving us a bit of information. That kind of like hit everybody. They're not. It's not really was something that was. It was almost like flying under the radar. But I have a theory as an activist, media activist. and we're seeing that around the country. They're taking historically schools that were in certain neighborhoods, and because of the urban, I'm not saying urban blight, because of the, the neighborhoods are not being the same. They're even closing the schools in the neighborhood. I would say keep the school, and invest in the community. Those houses, rehab those houses in the area. When you fix something up, it becomes a better neighborhood, and then you could keep the school. I think the misappropriation of funding, building new schools in different zones and taking the schools out of the neighborhood is the problem why we have those problems. So I say take that money that you're going to get in those bonds and invest it in those neighborhoods, rehab those houses, bring some families in, and give them some good economic value in them neighborhoods, and then you won't have to rebuild those schools. We keep doing the same mess up of things, and nothing's improved in the state of Louisiana again. That's just my opinion.
Okay, I want to make an opinion on that too, but I need to go to the caller. Caller, you have a question or comment?
Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, yes, that's just another way of shifting our black children again. That school been having problem. Other schools have problem too. You don't see them closing them down. They're going to take the kids from Sugar Land. Where they going to put them?
Yes.
It's all about money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I have to say on that. But
yes,
they
ma'am.
still want to ship our children everywhere.
Yes, ma'am. And
Thank you.
They don't believe in community schools and so forth, and that's why we have a lot of what we would call urban decay, because they don't invest in communities. And you should start with the schools first. And I would say invest in the neighborhood, rehab the houses. Parts of New Iberia is dying, and then it's nobody really fighting to keep those neighborhoods. I love the fact that Councilman Dede is trying to do some ideas and stuff and get people to invest in their own neighborhood instead of leaving out and going buy a house in Youngsville where people don't really care for you. So, I mean, that's just my opinion, but I see this happens all the time, and people talk about why they encounter different situations when they move out of the neighborhood. Well, when you was in your old neighborhood, even though they got this hype about crime in your neighborhood, you got crime everywhere. And the same people that you running to go be with, they're going to be trying to get you out because they're going to say you committing crime. You know?
Well, then it's like the same scenario
over and over again.
Yeah, in all these different little cities. Like right there, they closed the school down right there off on St. Antoine Street, saying that, the train makes too much noise and is hazardous for the children. But yet the sheriff department go and lease that facility for $1 a year, $1 a year, and those family was really terrified when they had to wind up leaving from one school and then going to a whole nother school, and we have this continuously going on. Even when you look at Clara Sparrow was this black school. Before integration, before they made us go into integration, we had Clara Sparrow. I mean, when you walked into the classroom, when you walked into the halls, we had big old poster size pictures of all of these icons that was really in the school that we really got a chance to be around and everything like that. And when integration came, they just they cleaned the wall off of those that was there before them. They took it in and they put it in some type of storage. Instead of coming to the community and say, look, we have about $50,000 worth of portraits that's been hanging up in y'all school. If anybody want this portrait, come and get it. No, they took and they destroyed it. Mm-hmm. No trace.
Sister, we have our guest on, and I know she has a short notice. We got on Miss Nancy Davis, Sister Nancy Davis of the Nancy Davis Foundation. Just saw her on national news.
Hey,
just saw her on the steps of the Capitol. Just saw her with our good brother Silky Arthur Reed Slim. You got some great information on Black maternal health, which is front and center in the news lately, and just coming off of Black Maternal Health Week on last week. Welcome to the Open Line Radio Show.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here on with you all.
Yes, and tell us what's the message when you guys was on the steps of the Capitol, state Capitol in Baton Rouge. What's the message you were trying to get out?
Well, actually, the purpose of Black Maternal Health Week is to support maternal health. It's to amplify Black women's voices and center the values and traditions of the reproductive and birth justice movements.
Yes, it's so many aspects to indirectly in connection with this whole abortion thing going on, the fight in the country about abortion rights, and especially how it would affect people like yourself who went through a traumatic event. You want to tell us the event you went through?
Yes, sir. Well, last year in August of 2022, our fetus was diagnosed with acrania. Acrania is a lethal and fatal condition which deemed it to be non-viable outside the womb. It's also where the brain and the skull does not develop properly. So initially, Women's Hospital agreed to do the procedure for $6,000. But whenever a couple of weeks later, whenever we went back to actually schedule it and get the ball moving, they told us at the direction of Women's Hospital that the procedure had been shut down because of the fetus having a heartbeat, because of the Louisiana abortion bans, and because of the Louisiana laws. So they wouldn't be able to do it. They told us the nearest place would be Florida. And so since that, we actually traveled to New York to get the procedure done, which was 1,400 miles away. And even though that was very, very traumatizing and very heartbreaking, I decided to turn my pain into something positive. And I started the Nancy Davis Foundation. Our mission is to assist individuals who have experienced trauma as a result of a developmental defect during pregnancy.
Yes, ma'am. And again, you have our deepest sympathy, because like we know exactly what you went through, in a sense that I too had a pregnancy, and I'm in my 6th month, and they found out that the baby wasn't going to survive or anything like that, and refused to terminate my pregnancy, and I almost died from that.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow, I am so sorry to hear that.
Right, and so when you have men that's and they got some men and some women that want to tell you what you can and cannot do, just for you to do what you need to do to save your life, and to save so many other women that's going to be coming up after you. The same thing. That's why you're trying to get the message out, Sister Nancy.
Yes, ma'am. And that's the whole goal for advocating and shedding light on this issue to prevent as many people from going through it as possible. One of the focuses for Black Maternal Health Week is helping Black women reclaim autonomy over their own body and finding the joy of pregnancy.
Black women reclaiming
autonomy over their own body and finding the joy of pregnancy.
Okay. And how are you advocating that?
Well, for one thing, we are starting with experiences. We are starting with things that are real life, and events that are happening to real people, such as myself and other advocates.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And trust me, the word is getting out. There's been numerous of people that have told me, asked me if I had heard about you, if I had seen and all this, and I explained to them, well, yeah, we already know about that. So, so are you having just different chapters, or are you just trying to get the word out and empower the women like that?
Yes, ma'am. We are trying to get the word out and educate as many families, as many birthing people, as many people as we possibly can about the laws that are going on, the effects that they are having, and the pain and trauma that they are causing families all over the nation.
Okay, now it did go to the representatives in Baton Rouge. What was there a specific law, or what is it that they done on your behalf?
Well, actually, on my behalf, I'm so glad that you brought that question up, because I am so glad that sharing my family experiences was able to be a catalyst for Louisiana adding Acrania to their list of exceptions for abortions.
Yes, ma'am.
So yes, ma'am, Acrania was added to Louisiana's list of exceptions for abortions. And we also feel like it should be added into everyone's list of exceptions.
Recently, another thing that ran across my radar was recently there was information from the Centers for Disease Control and other organizations, other medical organizations, showed that the mortality rate among black women concerning those type of health issues and around pregnancy and female well-being is at an all-time high. And I don't know if the state of Louisiana recognized that that's what's happening, the lack of adequately health care outcome for black females in this state. And I know Texas has got some real serious issues with the governors doing out there. So what's your take on all of that?
Oh, my goodness. My take on all of it. Well, as you mentioned, black women are 4 times more likely to die in birth-related complications than white women. I feel as though it should be a focal point with all politicians all over the world, being that birthing people are at risk, being that our lives are in danger, being that the laws are controlling our lives, and because of this control, it's putting our lives in danger, in jeopardy, and at risk.
Right. Yeah, Louisiana, like in most things when it comes to health care outcome, it's at a dismal rate. And the politicians in Baton Rouge, and I've been ranting and raving about politicians in Baton Rouge and critical of all of them, but we know we got a majority, supermajority conservative agenda out there in Baton Rouge. And I would say the election is coming up. We got a chance to change some of the local elected officials. I'm a registered independent. I don't want to say that for the listening audience, but I don't support either one of the party, but I tend to vote more Democratic issues, Sister Khadijah. And the thing is, that should be one of the main subjects. If a politician come to you and ask you for your vote, it should be a litmus test. My litmus test at the top is black maternal health. If he's a politician, come and ask for your vote in the black community. The other one is police accountability, and that should be a litmus test. If somebody wants your vote, they should be able to address that issue, should not throw it on the side. I don't care if we have a super Republican majority. The issue is when you send somebody to Baton Rouge, they shouldn't call on to the lobbyists, to the movers and shakers over there in Baton Rouge. They should be for the well-being of the people that elected them.
Yes, sir. I totally agree. Totally agree.
And then this is just, facts that have come out, with the black women are more likely 4 times to die from birth complications than that of white women. But then this is just coming out. When I say just coming out, but like before, even when you look at the fact, why blacks have a fear of going to the doctor, even if you go back from when they injected the black men with syphilis, or you go to the father of medicine who today was a butcher, and he did all kind of experiments on black slave women, and without no type of anesthesia.
Yes.
So we're glad that the statistics are coming out now, and we're elated that you and your husband have the fortitude to come out and say, well, yeah, this is what happened to me, and I want the entire world to know, what this is, because they still trying to tell you what you can and cannot do with your body.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And so to our young, to anyone that's going to be pregnant and ready to give life, you have to make sure you go through all of your medical procedures, such as taking vitamins, making sure that they check you to see where the baby is located at, making sure that all this weight you're gaining is letting you know that that's not good for you. And what else would you like the listening audience to know, Sister Nancy?
That's a very, very great question. I just would like to tell anybody out there to just stand up for what you believe in. If you feel as though you've been mistreated or anything negative has happened to you, speak up about it. You never know what may come from it. So speak up about it. You can help other people as well as help yourself. And also, always stand up for what you believe in. Always fight for what you believe in.
What's the next big event that you guys are going to be doing out here in Louisiana to bring attention to that? Again, I would say it's a political season coming up. I would hope you guys would be front and center in the face of these politicians that make laws in Louisiana that governs people's bodies and their movements around the state of Louisiana. I would hope that you guys are actually engaging them about those issues.
Well, yes, actually, we are engaging about those issues. Actually, Frankie from the Amandla Group, she was actually supposed to join me this morning to further elaborate on that process, but she actually ended up having something else, so she couldn't make it. Okay. So, but we actually are going to the state capitol, to the Louisiana state capitol, to the legislative sessions. We're testifying and trying to bring about change. So that's actually what we're going to be doing for the next month or two.
Yes.
Do you know when you're going to be testifying before the Senate?
I mean, legislative.
Legislature.
I think it's next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Please let me know when. Please let me know. Yes,
okay.
And they're going to be you're going to go ahead and tell your story, and then you're going to go ahead and they're most likely be other people that's going to be telling the same type of story.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, well, that is imperative.
Yes. Well, I'm going to share my story and my family experiences, and there will be other people sharing theirs as well.
Yes, ma'am. Well, yes, indeed, that is definitely needed, and even give us an update on how it turned out, what came from the session. Are they going to maybe table it for another time or put it into law? I mean, that legislation is so hypocritical, and the majority of our legislators, white men.
They want to advance 800 new bills this coming session that don't even make any doggone, I don't want to say the other word, sense.
800.
Yes, and to be exact, they are white men that don't even understand how pregnancy works. They don't even understand how birthing people bodies work.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. You can say that again?
Yes. As I mentioned, they are men who don't understand how women's bodies works. They don't understand. Shucks.
You got it.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on one second.
Yeah. They don't understand how to the women body work or what are the ins and outs.
If you got a lot of
bodies.
MAGA Republicans, all he know is grab them by, that's all he knows. So you got a lot of MAGA Republicans who love that man. So,
Yes. I'm so sorry about that.
No, that's
My baby
okay.
came
That's
in here
okay. You give me a
making all
chance to
kind
do a
of
little
noise,
commentary.
so I had to mute the phone. But what I was saying was they are men that are in place that don't even understand how pregnancy works.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even understand how birthing people bodies works. And they are putting these laws in place that are controlling our lives and putting our lives in danger.
And yes, and I had a good professor friend that said all laws are meant to be broken to try out. I mean, it was a law where we were 3/5 of a person at one particular time. So that law is not in effect as we know of, but still, it's always the wrong people putting out laws for your body. And thinking that it's okay to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And so, do you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
if anybody wanted to reach you, do you have a website? Do you have a telephone number or?
Yes, ma'am, most certainly. If anybody wants to reach me, our website is www.nancydavis.org. You can also reach us through email. Our email address is info@nancydavis.org. The phone number is 225 329 3204.
3204.
Yes, ma'am.
225 329 3204.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. And again, we definitely want you to know how we appreciate your family coming out, and your husband was right next to you, like the proud black husband that he automatically is,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Y'all make a beautiful couple, and we want to just thank you. Anytime you need to come on to share what's going on, any updates, please give Brother Jay a call and everything like that. But I just wanted to say that when we seen you on the state capitol talking, and your husband was right next to you, and it just brought so much joy to a lot of us that we were like saying, and she's not doing this by herself. She didn't get pregnant by herself. Her husband is right there, and that's the way.
Exactly.
That's the way family do.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you so much. We greatly appreciate everything. And let me just give a shout out to him, Shedrick Cole. Hey. You are amazing. I love you. Thank you.
We love you too. We love you too. We love y'all.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Give him a high five and back shake and everything else.
Yes, ma'am. I most certainly will. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
A very enlightening conversation.
Yes. Very enlightening conversation, Sister Khadijah. So much stuff going on. And again, like I say, it's the political season coming up. If you politicians, they will be showing up in your face. If you don't have any questions on the issues that affect you to them, well, you're going to let them go to Baton Rouge, and the lobby is going to rule the day, be the order of the day. And maybe that's another really, those shows tend to get controversial because we'll wake up come January 2024, and we have some new laws on the book, that we have to face all the time. They keep repeating themselves. And for the life of me, I can't understand why they have to advance so many bills every legislative session. They should be amending some of these bills that they got on the book already. Louisiana consistently is last in a lot of things they should have been first. They are very mineral-rich state with oil and gas deposits and seafood industry and so forth, but yet we are last in economic value because a lot of the state laws are made to be giving tax incentive for companies to come down here, pollute the land and leave and take all the resources, the money with them, and so you are left with the issues in the future that the young people will have to face. You know, the money is good right now, but when you have a state that it's the coastline is being eroded, and you have more and more storms that are approaching the coast and washing away the lands, and you have those issues going on. So certainly we got a lot going on in Louisiana that people don't want to address, and having a supermajority of conservative hasn't changed a thing. Having a Democratic government in some cases haven't changed a thing. A few little advances. We have a caller, Sister Khadijah?
Well, they asked the question about why are they going after people with a PPC?
PP.
Okay, PP loan.
Well, that's
that's
the Justice Department.
Explain what's a PP loan. It's
one of those loans when the COVID-19 era, we call it an era, that people applied for when their business was affected severely by COVID-19, whether they couldn't open up and they couldn't pay their employees, they were running out of money and so forth. And a lot of people were getting, according to some, were getting those loans under false circumstances. You know, so that's just the government. You remember, all things the government gives us is not good.
Right.
In the sense, well, it's not good in the sense that if you're doing something, you don't have your stuff, your paperwork or your stuff in order. And most of the time, we said that before the show. I say, you go and get those loans, but black folks always, they be looked at first for those things. You know, that's just the way it is.
That's why when they asked me my race, even though I'm a proud black woman, I put unknown. Because, like, I know we come from all these different type of entities, and wouldn't that should be considered white collar crime?
I've heard one of the shows about racism where one of the sheriff called this girl a red bone, and they sued the sheriff and the law enforcement for calling him a red bone. So you could say, if I was to say you're a red bone. That's what, since you don't identify, that's how you put it down on your.
Oh, yeah.
No, don't use those words. Some of those words are counterculture. Do not want you saying things like that.
And cancel culture. They just came into existence. They are in their 20s, in their early 30s and stuff. They don't know too much about anything when it comes down to history, particularly claiming that we don't want to offend little Johnny and little Mary that's in the classroom, because when they're going to talk about what happened to their parents, to their grandparents, the truth is always the truth. It doesn't matter how you look at it.
The state GOP, the Republican Party, wants to do away with studying racism in colleges and campuses.
Yes, and which going to keep those college students more dumber than anything around. Caller, you have a question or a comment? You're on.
Yes, I have a comment. Brother, Sister Khadijah, and Brother Jay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Brother Jay and Sister Khadijah, I want to ask y'all, what do y'all think free enterprise in our country does for us people, citizens? Is it a pro? Is it a con? That's the free enterprise system of America. Has it benefited, let's say, African Americans? Does it benefit us currently? Has it benefited us in the past? And what the future looks like when we talk about our free enterprise system in America? Also, I want y'all to discuss capitalism.
Yeah.
Tell the people, Brother Jay, what is capitalism?
I told you Saturday, one big pyramid scheme. If I want to say the negative part of it, it's one big pyramid scheme. But really, seriously, capitalism is what this country is built on. Is what everything. A lot of things in the world and the global economy is based on capitalism, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Caller, you're on. You have a question or a comment? You're on.
Yes, I got a question and a comment to y'all.
Yes, sir.
Y'all mentioned about canceled culture. The first culture they tried to cancel was black people. And now they couldn't do that, so now they jump into us becoming woke. woke is everything that black people starts to bring awareness to the injustice that we are going through. White people take it and try to demolish it. And it's up to us to let the other white folks know who can help us, because they are becoming woke thanks to us protesting about the injustice that black people go through in this country. It's for us not to change the subject, stay woke, and all these politics using this wokeness against us for the 2024 election. You're letting you know that they are the racists and the true white supremacists that's trying to bring back things that we thought never could come back to us. And when you hear white people calling themselves conservative, that means they want things to stay the way they are, where they rule everything and they make all the money. And you talk about capitalization and capitalize and all this. This whole country was built off a monopoly, which you don't have none of the billionaires talk about because it's raping the poor people, black and white. And we got to make people understand that even though we don't have a big platform, we got to stay together and keep on preaching about what's going on to the white people. Because black people has always been an example of what's going to be happening to the white people, the Asians, and the Mexicans. Because now they are having hate crime against the Asians, who should have stood with black people, even though they live off of black people. Now they're seeing these white people's greed. If you're not white, you're not right. And it's up to us to keep on arguing and let the Hispanics and Mexicans know once you finish building the rest of this country that they trying to make you build, you're going to be the next culture that's going to be trying to be counted. And if you don't give it black people for us to wake you up, you're going to be one of their zombies that's walking around not knowing this American dream does not mean for people of color. It's to live off of people of color. Because the white people right now are getting so greedy to eat one another. And we as black people got to understand, without us, there is no them. Because we always going to help them out of a bind. Once they get out of a bind, whether they're Democrat or Republican, they take a dump on us. Then we got to stop this. Keep talking about it. Okay.
Yes, and yes.
Thank you, Carl.
And thank you so much. And Miss.
Yeah, I got my shirt. My shirt I printed out.
Right.
Stay woke.
Stay woke. Yes.
Yeah.
And Mr. Kevin, also, I mean, your show is really good every Thursday from 5:30 to 6:30. But 80 years ago, right there out in St. Martinville, the wrongfully executed at 14. 80 years ago, George Stanley was tried in a single afternoon, convicted of murdering 2 young white girls, then quickly sent to the electric chairs. His bereaved siblings have asked a court for a new trial to clear his name. And when you look at, I don't think you could see, but I was letting you know, Mr. Kevin.
They can see it at home, those who watch.
They can see it at home. George Stanley. I mean, this young baby really was electrocuted in one day out in St. Martinville, and still there could never be any justice, but y'all quick to electrocute him and forget about who actually killed the 2 little white girls, you know, and that's a problem. You know, if we all gonna claim that we know history and we want to stay abreast of history, then history dictates factual the lynching and everything. And I don't care how woke you think you are, or them wanting to like clarify things that you can't undo this.
Yeah, and that's the history that the state GOP party, and I'm hoping the Democrats fight this. All you could do is hope they fight, because they probably won't fight it. They want to push advanced legislation to do away teaching about racism in colleges and university. When we have two historically known black colleges, Southern University and Grambling State University, where the epitome of blackness are at. But you still have those same politicians who got law degrees from Southern University law degrees, who are conservative Republicans in the Louisiana House and Attorney General, who got those degrees, who do want to do away with studies that emanate from black institutions like Southern and Grambling. This is where we got to, again, a litmus test for those politicians when they come up in your face and run up on you and say they want your vote. ask them what you're going to do about these Republicans that want to roll back teaching about racism.
Yes, I want to. Caller, you have a question or a comment? You're on.
Yeah, I have a comment. So in Louisiana, there are only 39 state senators. One of those state senators is a black female, Senator Katrina Jackson.
Yeah.
The reason that women do not have access to health care and abortion is because of Senator Katrina Jackson.
Wow.
She is the person that caused abortion to be illegal in Louisiana. The white supremacists in Louisiana install these people to make it horrible for everyone else, to take away the rights of everyone else. The other comment that I will make is that it's strange to me that an elected school board member will come to the public and request that the school be removed from her own neighborhood and moved to another neighborhood. That's an indication that the white supremacists are trying to destroy public education. And the reason that they want to do that is that they want to privatize it. When they privatize it, they will install their friends, white people, so that they can charge everyone else to pay for education. And they will charge you through taxes. So they will get that revenue. It's exactly the same way that they imprison black juveniles, and then they charge the citizens through taxes to put those juveniles in jail. So it's a never-ending Republican white supremacist circle of taking all the resources from the black community, and they just get richer and richer, and they acquire more and more power. So when we have Senator Katrina Jackson, one of only 39 state senators, putting legislation that causes abortion to be illegal, it directly affects the health of black women across Louisiana. We have to stop electing these people that do not represent our best interests. That's my comment.
Wow. Thank you so much, caller. Well, we certainly got some info going.
Yes.
Oh, everybody got diverse opinions.
Yeah.
And what you got to do is go and do your research and draw conclusions from what some of the callers say.
Yes, you sure have. Caller, you're on. You have a question or a comment?
Quick comment. I want to thank that white guy for being honest about his white supremacy out here in Louisiana. But let's not forget that the school board is run off of the black communities. And if black people would get together and realize that the white people are still getting funded by our tax dollars to go to private schools, and if these white folks don't want our children to learn about their heritage, their history, we can stop going there, and they got to transfer funds to our school, which is an African history school, since we are the only culture in this country that they say we can't learn about our heritage. They say we can't learn about our history. Well, this weekend right there, we got a Spanish so-called festival. That no black artist is being invited to, that no black person is going to be in there, but yet still they can shut down the main street in New Iberia for 3 days for a Spanish festival. And now all these white folks know how to talk Spanish.
Yes, indeed.
But yet still, we don't allow these people to tell us what our children can learn, and we got to pay for this. Y'all realize how important black people is, and we stand together. Because they need us to survive. They use us for instruments to their privileges. And it's time for us to put candidates who represent us and hold them accountable if they say compromise to the lowest. We got to wake our black politicians up and let them know this is not just a job. This is our livelihood. And if we paying y'all to go represent us, y'all talk with us before y'all make any kind of compositions. That's the only way we get these white supremacists out of here.
Oh.
So wake up and let people know, stay awake, cancel them out, stop trying to let them rebuke us as just they being canceled, because they are the canceled culture now, and they are running in fear now. This is why they pass all these laws against us voting, against us learning our history, because they know if we would learn in some trouble. But we got to wake up our own children and let them know what greatness they come from.
Yes.
This is why they're killing one another. And stop letting these black politicians allocate money to open up juveniles, the teacher homes. This is destroying our children from birth.
Yeah. Yes. Mr. Kevin, you hit the head on the you hit the hammer right up on the head. Like the Lord G. Porter Stadium that we have right there in New Iberia. The Lord G. Porter Stadium. Lord G. Porter, who was one of the ones that helped
run people out of town.
Help run those doctors.
Yeah.
Those prominent doctors. Dentists, all of these,
people,
ran them out, and not only
because
that, but
they came up with a fresh idea. Why not have a black school of welding for black folks?
Right, since y'all didn't want us in your area, and yet we as taxpayers, citizens of Iberia,
they was fighting against wokeness back then.
they fought.
Before wokeness was a word, they was fighting against.
Now I don't think that I don't know what the school is doing today, but then it was the taxpayers' money, because it had been coming out of their own private bank account. They would have never done it, And he was one of the main one that ran those people out of New Iberia on the railroad track.
I'm still waiting for the Southern University has an expose that they're putting together. I'm still waiting for Chancellor Pierre to come and tell the public about it.
He sure is. He sure was supposed to be doing that. And then not only that, but Sister Phoebe out of New Iberia, she was a whole professor and everything like that. She knows the history behind all of that. We got to get her on.
It's like they're trying to put it underground.
We got to get her on. Okay, Brother Jim, we have another caller, but I have to go. Okay, Carly, you have a question or a comment?
Brother J, the word is integrity.
Yes.
Integrity. Brother J, why haven't this thing about woke and about canceling what we are going to allow to teach, be taught in school, why hasn't that made it, or why isn't it headed to the Supreme Court? Why aren't those justices at the Supreme Court dealing with this matter by now? That by now should have been headed on the steps of the Supreme Court, in my opinion, because the bottom line is this is a matter that if it's called the highest court in our country, the highest court should have it on its step, ready to be picked up and to be handled by those in the higher court. But now my question about the higher court, is there integrity in there? And is there integrity with the politicians?
No,
I think that before we go vote for somebody, we need to know if they are integrity I'm going to use a crazy word, integrity of able. Are they integrity?
No.
Do they have integrity? Before I go cast a vote for somebody, I know enough about them to know that they're worthy of my vote, because I did my research on them, and I feel that they are the one. But watch. Brother Jay, when they get in office, they switch party.
Yes.
They drop the Democratic Party. They join the Republican. So the bottom line is, you are like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hiding, but you're trying. All I'm going to say to us, too, about that woke thing, we better go get registered. We better get registered to vote, because the bottom line is the way the power works in our governmental system is those who have the more in the building call shots.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And the theory about that, the integrity. Well, the theory about that, Coach, is that even in the Supreme Court, when you use the word integrity, we have a justice by the name of Clarence Thomas, who's an African American who historically have been voting against the issues in the black community. Granted that he came from similar struggles as a black person, and he's been voting against the interests of black folks as the Supreme Court justice. Now now Clarence Thomas is under a lot of scrutiny for his dealings, whether they're legal or whether they're not ethical. He's been under a lot of scrutiny and actually at the point of people calling for him to resign. So you're asking me if that Supreme Court has any integrity in it, or should we worry about that? Well, yeah, basically everything that's being played out in the news cycle tells you a whole lot. So I'm going to say this. And listen, I'm going to log off too also. Sister Khadijah has to step out. She have a previous appointment. I'm sorry we have an abbreviated version of the Open Line radio show. But hopefully we could catch you on Saturday morning on the People's Tech and Entertainment Show. More about artificial intelligence. It's fast becoming a big news story. We told you that 4 months ago on the People's Tech Show about Chat GPT and Open AI and all of that stuff. You want to pay attention to that because that's something that very controversial and something that could be in our everyday lives with people when it comes to dealing with technology. So, again, people, election season coming up. Put out your litmus test paperwork. I mean, have a list of things you want to ask these politicians, things that are near and dear to you in your community that you have to face every day or your loved ones has to face. Write it down. Before they come and ask you for their vote, ask them to address that issue. Don't, you can't change their mind, but ask them to address that issue. One of the issues is teaching colleges and university not teaching about racism. That's why people are reacting a certain way out there in the general public because they don't know about certain things. So pay attention, and we're going to log off on the Open Line, and we appreciate you. Catch us Fridays on Community Matters with Brother Wallace Senegal. I think he's going to have Councilman Pat Lewis on this Friday. Catch us on the People's Tech this Wednesday. Catch replays of Digital Soul Showcase TV, the best in the top picks in music videos that I produce, along with Brother Shaheed and Sister Khadijah. Shout out to Brother Shaheed. And also the replays with Brother Darrell Muhammad, community defender. He had some excellent videos on all of these police misconduct that's going on around the country. So pay attention on the Open Line.
The Open Line radio show is supported in part by Finders Keepers, the place with your residential hardware needs, small engines, outdoor power equipment, bathroom accessories, electronics, lighting, plumbing, and everything in between. Located in the Southern Development Office Building at 1006 Surrey Street, Lafayette. Telephone 337-780-8149. That's Finders Keepers.
I'm New Iberia City Councilman and local business owner, Marlo Lewis. Parents, it all starts at home. Enough is enough.
I'm Lieutenant Cassie Dion with the New Iberia Police Department. It takes a village, and it's time our community comes together.
I'm here to lend my voice to the community program to stop the gun violence.
No more silence, stop gun violence.
No more silence, stop gun violence.
No more silence, stop gun violence.
Are you or someone you love covered by Medicaid? If so, this message is for you. Medicaid renewals are returning after they were put on pause by the COVID-19 pandemic. We want every Louisianan who's eligible for Medicaid to keep their coverage, but there could be important steps you need to take so that you don't lose your health insurance. In April, Medicaid will be sending out renewal packets or requests for information letters to some members. This process will be spread out over 12 months, so not everyone will get their letter at the same time. But when you do, you need to reply right away. If you don't reply, you could lose your coverage even if you are eligible. To make sure